Welcome to the third episode, and on this episode we are talking about dwarf hairgrass. Now if you're new to the hobby, there are many species within dwarf hairgrass itself. So if you go and just buy dwarf hairgrass, you may not know which one you are buying. So this video will help you clear it up a little bit. And keep in mind that there are also many other dwarf hairgrass species as well. So over here we have dwarf hairgrass bellum. And we have over here the native dwarf hairgrass, USA native, or North American native I should say. And over here I don't really know which one this one is, but this one I bought from Petco. So the dwarf hairgrass bellum is possibly the dwarf hairgrass that many beginners sought after, simply because this plant stays very short, only a few inches above substrate, and it spreads its runners really slow too. So a lot of people go out and try to buy dwarf hairgrass from like the local chain stores, thinking that they will get this dwarf hairgrass, but possibly they will get either this one right here or this one over here. So that would suck. I mean, you want to get something that stays short and compact like this, but you get something like this over here. As you can see how tall those are compared to that little piece of hairgrass right there. So this is probably close to max height for the bellum. It will probably grow to probably about right there only, and that's about it. So you could only imagine what someone can go through keeping dwarf hairgrass. So the native dwarf hairgrass is actually a very tall growing hairgrass. It's a lot thinner than the bellum also. So this species also spread its runner through a little string like this, and single leaf starts growing off of it. So also a very reliable way of spreading its runners. And this dwarf hairgrass grows extremely fast too also. Not in the way of spreading, but in the way of growing tall. So like I was showing you just a little bit ago, I planted the hairgrass in possibly just 2 or 3 days only, about this tall only, because that's how I got it whenever I went and harvested from my local river. And 2 or 3 days later, that's how tall it grew. I mean, I don't know if it's the substrate, the nutrient, or the CO2, the light, or it could possibly be everything combined, but within 2 days I can swear that it grew from right here all the way to up there. So, and I done trimmed that twice already. So I'm thinking about moving this native hairgrass behind the rock, so all the plants can grow up above it, and it'll have a nice tall hairgrass seen behind, and place some shorter hairgrass in front of there. So this species of hairgrass, I find that they are sold on quite a lot of sites too also. So whenever you think about buying dwarf hairgrass, keep in mind that this is how tall that the native dwarf hairgrass can grow to. So this dwarf hairgrass was purchased from Petco. It was in a tissue cultured bag. So if you ask me, this plant wasn't even worth it, because I have kept it for a while now, and every single runner that it had sent off, it would send it above ground. I mean, it don't send it under the substrate and then the leaf will pop up. It actually sends the whole thing above ground. And so what I will have to do is come down here and trim it off and replant it. So you can only imagine if you had like a few thousands of these inside your tank, every single week or two you will probably have to come down and trim a few hundred of these and just to replant them. So this is a really ridiculous plant, a very demanding plant because of how it sends its runners up, and you will have to trim. So I believe that if I just let this sit, it will just keep sending runners up and up and up. So eventually it will probably reach the top of my tank. But that is so ridiculous, because you want to have a low foreground plant for the name of dwarf hairgrass, because a lot of people think that whenever they buy dwarf hairgrass, it's just going to be a very low plant. You don't have to do much to it, just plant it and let it sit and let it run your tank. But the thing is, if you buy this kind of dwarf hairgrass, it would suck. Alright, it would suck a lot. Or if you buy this, it would suck a lot, especially if you have like your nano, or you have your scape already planned out, and you was wanting like the very short version, and you eventually got this or this version, and they just grew tall and wasn't what you wanted, and you just wanted to pluck it out and go and rebuy some more different type of dwarf hairgrass, or possibly not even try dwarf hairgrass anymore. So for those that don't know, the dwarf hairgrass bellum is by far one of the shortest plants. So if you want to get dwarf hairgrass for the upfront foreground cover, make sure you get the bellum or the Japan version. And I believe that the Japan and the bellum is very similar too. They can very well be the same plant. So I hope that y'all enjoy my dwarf hairgrass episode. Have a nice day.